Hi guys, I haven't done a cooking video in a while, so I thought I'd try one today. Or at least attempt one. I'm in the middle of moving, so everything's up in the air. But anyway, so I'm going to make pineapple zucchini bread today. This used to be one of my best sellers when I had my little side business, so it's definitely worth the attempt to make. These are the ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need sweetened coconut. You need eggs, zucchini, just got that fresh from the farmer's market. You need white sugar and brown sugar, flour, a little bit of salt, cinnamon, vanilla extract. I always use the pure stuff. Vegetable oil, crushed pineapple, pumpkin pie spice, baking soda, baking powder, and last you're going to need some sour cream. Now, you can attempt to make this recipe if you like without that sour cream, but my advice to you is not to, because it makes all of the difference in the world. It makes it very, very moist and very good. So I'm going to show you how to put it together. It's really simple. The bake time is a little long, but it's well worth it. So I'm going to show you how to put it together, and I hope you guys try it. Okay, so you need to grease and flour some pans of your choice. Set your oven at 350 and let it preheat. I use loaf pans because this recipe freezes very well. You can keep this in the freezer for up to 3 months. Not that it ever lasts that long around my house, but I always bake it like this. This recipe will make 3 loaves, so I always have these loaves ready to go. And like I said, I freeze them individually. And then when I know I'm going to have company or whatever, or even if they show up unexpectedly, I could take it out of the freezer, slice it, pop it in the microwave for about 20 seconds, and it's good to go. Alright, so what we need to do is, in this mixer, I've got a cup of sugar, a cup of brown sugar, a cup of oil, and 3 eggs. And you're going to beat these all up together real well, and then we'll add in the other stuff. Here, I won't make you watch this, but I'll get it mixed up and then we'll go on. Okay, so I've beat it all together. Now, this is not going to fluff up like you would think. Like if you had put butter in here, you know how when you whip butter and sugars together, it gets nice and fluffy and everything. Because of the oil, this is not going to fluff up like that. But to this mixture, after you get the eggs and the oil and the sugars incorporated, you need to add half a cup of sour cream. Now, I don't really measure the sour cream that much. You can do that if you want. I know when I first started baking, I always measured everything. But just half a cup sour cream. And add that in there. And then mix that up real well. Okay, I added in the sour cream, so now I'm going to add in my vanilla. 2 teaspoons. You can measure if you want. I've done this a lot, guys, trust me. So I'm kind of used to the measurements on this. Okay, and you add in the vanilla and stir that. Okay, stirred in the vanilla. Now, in this container right here, I have 3 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. It says a teaspoon of salt, but I never put that much salt in anything, so I usually do about 1/2 teaspoon. A teaspoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. And what you're going to do is you're going to add this into your mixture just until it's moist. Because once you get this in, you're going to add in your pineapple, a can of crushed pineapple drained. And when you drain your pineapple, don't throw the juice down the drain. If you're not going to use it right then and there, put it in a Ziploc baggie and freeze it. And when you make your next bowl of punch or even iced tea, put that frozen pineapple juice in your iced tea. It's awesome. Okay, so like I said, we're going to add in this flour and mix it just until it's moist. And then we're going to add in our zucchini and our pineapple and our coconut. Okay, so what we got here is 3 cups of unpeeled and grated zucchini. The recipe says to leave the peeling on the zucchini. I say that's totally a preference. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, don't. I got a can of crushed pineapples, and I also have my sweetened flaked coconut. Now, I'm not a measurer when it comes to coconut. So, what I do is, see, I stirred that until it just got moist. No big deal. You don't have to do this a little at a time or anything like that. Just dump it in there. I am a scraper. Okay, and do the same with the pineapple. Now, because those are wet ingredients, that's why I said just dump them and let it stir. When it comes to the pineapple, or when it comes to the coconut, I put that in a little bit at a time because I like for it to be everywhere and not just in one little section of my, of my bread. So I put it in a little at a time. I think I could have opened my my bag of coconut a little better. So now I'm like fighting to get it out of there. But you only need half a cup of coconut. Just stir it in there. Okay. Now I'll turn it up a little bit. Give it one good zhoosh. And then that's it. Okay, now as you can see, let me open it up. It is very nicely mixed up. Everything's all nice and gooey ooey. And I've got my pans ready, like I told you. You can grease and flour your pans. I am a believer in greasing and flouring. I know a lot of people like those cooking sprays. I don't like them. I feel like they leave a funny taste around the edges of the bread, but that's just me. So anyway, I'm going to dump this in here, divide it amongst my 3 pans, and it's going to go into the oven at 350, and it's going to be in there for about 50 to 60 minutes. Just do the old toothpick test or your fork test with it. And you don't have to do it in loaf pans. You can do this as cupcakes. You can do this in those mini loaf pans. You can do this as a cake if you want to. But the cooking time is going to vary when you do it that way. In the loaf pans, I can tell you, it takes 50 to 60 minutes depending on your oven. So after I get it done, I'll let you guys see what the finished product looks like. Okay, so here's the finished product. It is done perfectly. It smells outstanding. I'm going to have to keep myself away from it, but just let it cool down. Pop it out of the pans and you can either serve it or, like I said, it freezes very well. I've kept it in the freezer, I think, for up to about 3 months with no problems. But it normally doesn't last that long around my house. We usually have guests all the time, and it's like the perfect thing to serve with tea. So if you get a chance, try it out. You'll really like this recipe. Like I said, it was one of my top sellers when I used to do this, I used to try to make money. But anyway, I hope you try it, and I hope you like it. Let me know.